But to start off, our very first question for today is, what was your dream career as a child?
Probably going back to that, something in sort of animal conservation. And whilst I didn't do that, because obviously I've started a legal career, through that legal career, I've come around to now work with animal charities in a conservation role. So in some respects, it was one of my dreams, but it's now sort of come to fruition much later in life through a different avenue and a different journey.
Definitely. What made you initially go down the legal path, if it wasn't your childhood dream?
Well, it was sort of, it became an ambition of mine quite early on, and sort of watching TV programs as a kid with people in court, doing the advocacy in court was something that grabbed me straight away. And the drama of being in a courtroom, I found very engaging. And I think it's quite theatrical, and I'm sort of quite, again, through the sort of the journey of law I've taken, I work with a lot of media clients who are obviously very theatrical in their makeup, and I naturally gravitate to people like that. And I think that initial sort of thing that caught my imagination was that sort of theatrical way a courtroom plays out, because it's like a drama.
Absolutely, especially here with the
wigs. Yeah, I mean, I don't get to wear wigs, unfortunately.
Unfortunately not.
Over here, it's sort of the barristers who wear the wigs and the solicitors don't.
Well, you still got the nice hair.
I've got the grey hair, which is close as, I suppose, yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what you were like in school in your primary years.
Probably the class clown. One of those kids who sort of would do the studying right at the end to get the exam. So I didn't have to study too hard to pass what I needed to pass. I'd sort of do it a couple of days before, all hours through the night, to learn it, and I could then regurgitate it and get through the exam. So I wasn't overly studious, but studious enough. I knew how to do it to sort of play the system and pass.
Exactly. And what did your parents think of that? Did they, what were your parents' opinions on education and you being that kind of crammed to the end kind of student?
I think they let me do it my way.
Bring me to the point where you're finishing up, your schooling.
Oh, I finished school at 15.
Okay.
And then you go to college. You do your college, and then you do your A-levels, and then you either go to uni or you go and get a job.
So at the age of 15, was your eye still on the conservation of animals, or had it switched to the legal career?
Well, I grew up around animals, so I still had animals around me all the time. But obviously my focus was I wanted to be a lawyer. And so the journey was doing A-level law and then to go to university to do law. I mean, that's what I wanted to do, and so I was going to do it.
So bring me through your first year of law school.
Boring.
Boring?
Yeah, it was too much work. A-levels were very... You had to work. Out of all the education I found, O-levels, last minute, swatting, pass. A-levels, Christ, this is hard work. So actually, college was a lot of work. University was a lot of play.
So when you're in college and this is your first time that you're actually having to kind of sit down and get through the content, did you ever second guess the career path that you had?
No. I mean, it was what I wanted to do, so I knew I'd have to work at it. I just didn't realise I kind of have to do a little bit more work for this. But I still, it didn't put me off.